this episode of Raw Knuck Ranch, we break down into 55 Chevy gasser. Whoa!
Whoa.
Sometimes you gotta, you know, man up and just read the instructions. The problem is I can't read and there's not a lot of pictures.
Oh my God. We are back with the 55, and this time we are not just cleaning it, we're actually gonna make it run.
It's happening. We're robbing the heart and soul out of my Chevelle. That's like a 500-something horsepower 383 stroker, way more power than this thing's ever made. We're dropping it in this, and we're going drag racing.
We know that that motor runs. We don't know mechanical fuel injection or anything like that, so we're just gonna make this thing run and move, and then the fancy old school parts will go back on later after this is moving.
There's flies everywhere in here. Can we get this done already? It's bugging me. All right, let's go.
All right, let's get to work. First things first is get stuff out of our way. We're pulling the radiator, then I'm pulling the intake and set that aside. I don't want to pull the motor with the intake because I don't want to damage that in any way. And then it's kind of, I took pictures of absolutely everything on the pulley system because it's very interesting how it's set up, and I don't remember.
He took pictures of the two things on the pulley system.
Okay, okay. Anyways, I'm gonna start just disassembling as much as I can, and then we'll pull the little block out. Okay. Whoa! Whoa!
Hey,
William.
you better get over here.
Woohoo! Oh my God, bro.
Got some rollers on there.
Let's see. Dude, this is from the 60s, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, that thing
All
is
right.
clean.
Wow.
Now that's
Look at that.
that's a discovery, bro.
Looks like my cylinder heads are getting an upgrade.
There she is. I got her. This looks so cool, bro. It just feels so much better without all this shifter linkage right here where you can't see it. But we decided that we're gonna separate the trans from the bell housing, take the trans out and take the bell housing out with the motor when we yank it out. So I'm gonna do that now, and then we're gonna get this off the lift and yank this motor out. This impact is the cat's bananas. Nice. Now that the transmission's out, I guess we'll just get the mount bolts and then out, I guess.
Take her away, boys.
It's out. So now for the next stage of this fun process. There's gonna be a time, could be a couple days, a couple weeks, a couple months, I don't know, where either Will or I will say, Johnny, you know, you're the last person that drove the Chevelle before it's been sitting.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Uh-huh. Surprise, the Chevelle's on the lift because we are ripping the heart out of this thing to drop it in Johnny's 55 Chevy so we can really put down some numbers on the track.
Mainly go vroom vroom.
Yeah, it does that well. The Chevelle, we're not over her, but we're okay with her taking a little break for a while, and we're not sure what the future holds for this car, but we do know that the future now has a 55 Bel Air gasser in store for us, and we need to make that as fast as possible, and this is sitting right here. So we're gonna do it. So this is the easiest route to getting that 55 running is pulling the 383 out of the Chevelle. It's super fast to pull this thing. Everything's super streamlined. So we're gonna get this yanked out. We're gonna leave the trans behind because I might have another engine program happening with this soon, but we're gonna yank this thing out and then start dressing it up to get it ready to going to its new home in that 55 out there. Well, Johnny's hard at work cleaning up the engine bay a little bit, degreasing, wire wheeling, stuff like that. What are you doing over here, Ricky?
I am getting ready to install this pilot bushing, so that way our transmission will bolt and the input shaft will have something to ride on. Brass.
And flywheel next.
Yeah. This flywheel is so hot right now, it's not even started yet. The sun is cooking. So what I'm doing here is I'm checking to make sure that the outside diameter of each flywheel is the same. So that'll eliminate a lot of issues once we go to put the bell housing on. And also, if you mark your teeth here, you can spin the flywheels 360 and you can make sure your teeth count is the same. It's an easy way to check. And voila. You can't see it, but we're perfectly lined up. That means our teeth count is exactly the same. So that means our starter is going to be good. The deck height here is about an 1/8 inch higher, but I'm not too worried about it. Everything else should be okay.
This guy has dreamt of having a purple transmission for years. And I think this is...
I have a reason to, because before it's just like cringe because it's not like an Allison or anything. But now I have a purple car and I don't want to paint too many things purple, but no one is going to see this but me. Unless I send it to the high heavens somehow. A little shrapnel up the side.
This thing's gonna wheel stand. Everyone's seeing this trans.
Oh, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Cleaning 50-year-old Loctite off of these flywheel bolts. Just a drill and a pick. It's very efficient, as you can tell. John, how do I make it so I can see what the angle is?
Tap the back screen.
Now the camera got it. Forgive me. I got ahead of myself and I put the flywheel on before I put the adapter plate on. Smooth.
So we've realized we have a dilemma. This engine is like a 90s motor with a single piece rear main seal, and this mid plate is not gonna go over it. So we're gonna have to cut this center hole out and make it fit. So we're gonna give the metal blade on the jigsaw a shot and try to cut this out. Let you know if it works. It worked, kind of. I had to clean it up with the grinder after. It ain't perfect, but we're gonna see if it fits. Oh, no, it's not fitting yet. Because these are also in the way. Ain't out of the woods yet. Alright, this should fit. Yep, that'll work.
That was a fun detour.
That sucked, actually.
Ready for bell housing and fork. Still a little sticky. It's okay. So we gotta throw our bearing on and our fork. Now.
Race car stuff.
Just like that. She's ready to get stabbed. No, let's get it in the car.
Oh. This is exciting. Hot. Yeah.
Slow and a little bit more if possible. Right there. Yeah. It should go back as we go down.
Send her home.
Just watch that Z-bar.
Yep. down.
We're almost clearing.
Yeah, just about.
And
Hold on. Go off, bro.
oh, oops, sorry. Installed.
John, can you push my side back?
My bottom bolt needs to go back. Oh,
Oh, right there.
Feel your wrath, Jesus. I'm going in. That's always a good sign. Means you swelled it up.
Pretty much bolted one of the trans mount bolts. We're gonna go get a new one because this one's a little hashed. But she's in there. Pretty crazy. It may have gotten a little dirty going in, but she's still purple. Wait till you see this thingy. You wanna guess what color it is?
Alright, alignment tool is coming out. Wow, Ro got that very well in there. You got it? It's like your little baby. You good still?
For now, yeah. You have to do where it goes in there.
Yep. Paying homage to Mike and Tony right now. And Tony bench pressing his trans. We're shoulder pressing ours. Okay, there you go. Let me spin this. No? Whoa. Why? What are we not splined into? It's just the pilot bushing. Yeah. Why?
Do what you're doing.
Huh. Let's call Ro.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, Ro.
What's up?
Hey, we have a question for you.
Yeah.
If the we got the trans splined into the clutch, and it's like, I don't know, an eighth of an inch off of the belt housing now, like it's not going into the pilot bushing. Is there any tricks?
It's not going into the pilot bushing?
No. I mean, we've got maybe an eighth or a quarter inch in between the bell housing and the trans that it's not wanting to take up.
No, not really. It should be going in there.
Yeah.
I think it's.
Damn it.
That thing sucks.
That thing sucks, dude.
Well, look in here. Well, I think there's a lip of the trans, and I wonder if that's not going into the bell housing.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that could very well be it. Hold on a second, Ro.
I know. I tested the pilot bearing on the thing.
Yeah.
It fit great.
Do you think maybe it needs to tighten into that thing? Is it a bad idea to try to send it with a bolt?
The only thing is you might break the case of the trans.
Yeah, we definitely don't want to do that.
Well, if we're lightly doing it and it just starts sinking, then it's working, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could do like the corners, like put the ball in and then just like by hand slowly 4 55.
Oh, that hurt. All right, Ro, we're gonna let you know in real time if this works.
Alright.
We've got a very purple transmission here.
Yeah.
Doing anything?
I can't tell.
If that doesn't work, pull the trans out and take a straw and mark it from the straight edge
Yeah, yeah.
Push it all the way into the scout and measure it, because it might be too long. That crankshaft.
All right. Well, if it is, then we'll fucking.
Cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah, we'll have to shave the nose with the grinder. Yeah.
I'm gonna pull these bolts.
Yeah, we're gonna pull it and see. Get out of there. Oh.
She came out with a vengeance.
You got it? Yep. All right, I'll help you. All right, take that and make a mark.
Because remember that flywheel was an 1/8 inch taller?
Yeah.
That could be the problem.
All right, we're gonna go measure it right now. That's our problem. Wait, no, it's not.
It's not.
Is there too much paint on this?
No.
Are you sure?
I think tightening those bolts with a ratchet would have sent it through the paint.
Maybe.
We can sand it real quick.
Where's that sandcloth at?
All right, Rose suggested that we take the throwout bearing.
Let me get it up higher.
We take the throwout bearing.
Okay.
I didn't have a good grip on it. And then see if we can get it in all the way. Oh, what was that?
The floor popping.
Oh.
There we go. No, it's not the throat bearing.
It's nighttime. It looks like it's the same thing. I might have more of a beard because it is a month later. All right, we haven't been able to touch this. We filmed 2 episodes of Raw Knock Ranch, and we're currently remodeling our house. Ro drove back down from Oregon just to come and help us get this trans in because we haven't had the time, we couldn't put the effort to it, and we couldn't figure it out. He drove like 5.5 hours to fix it in maybe 5 minutes, figured it out.
The pilot bearing height is the same here, but this is hitting the face on the quill plate.
Which Will and I, we saw this lip and we thought that it was going inside the lip, but Ro quickly figured out, he took the whole thing out and it went right in, that it is actually hitting that lip. So we just need to grind this guy right here down, nice and flat, and and then and it should go right in. And now we could resume the thrash.
Yes. The 55 is finally coming off the lift, and this is up to Johnny Hype, not mine. Anyways, the shifter is going back in before we take it down. Here we go.
Well, she's on jack stands. She's not gonna come off until she can stop herself or be close enough to it. I bought a pretty straightforward just conversion kit. It was this kit for brakes or gasser headers, and I figured stopping was way more important. We've contemplated, well, Ro and I contemplated, what if we just run the brake lines to the here, nothing to the back, and we just stop with that? But Will is very against that, so we're not gonna do that. We're gonna try to figure out something with the rear brakes. I'm not excited about that. I'm not really sure how that looks, but we'll figure that out. Something cool about this kit is I called Summit and I learned just how cool these dudes are and how much they know if you just tell them you're building what you're doing. And I told them, I was like, I want a front disc brake conversion kit, but I want to be able to run the OEM brake master cylinder without a booster, because that's just, I didn't want to do that. It was way more expensive. It was like double the price. And he found there was 2 kits. One was $1,000, one was like $450. So I'm $450 broker now. First one done. Yeah. It's all dirty. Let's make it clean. That's about as good as it's gonna get. It's clean enough for me.
He said he was done first. He's lying. Because you can tell. Yeah, he didn't take it up. Mine's off. Sometimes you gotta, man up and just read the instructions. But the problem is I can't read and there's not a lot of pictures. So we're just gonna go off what we got.
I'm trying not to overdo it, the purple paint. I don't want to go cheesy, so we're walking a fine line here. But we decided that we have a little bit of purple paint left, calipers, Let's just do it so it doesn't rust. Perfect. It's purple. Do the other one and then we're good. And then, what now, the dust shield?
Oh my god.
Damn it.
God. God. No. Yeah, fucked up. Yep.
No. It doesn't show it in the photos.
He's got to go through the bowls. And the top one.
Dang it! I just tightened the absolute.
So yeah.
Dang it. Alright. Let's just pretend all that didn't happen and we're just gonna make this right, alright? That's better, but it's pizza time, so that's what we're gonna do. You done that before?
I figured that was gonna happen.
At least that one. It did it on the same thing. As soon as I punch through to where it's like super concave,
Yeah.
it just rips the groove it right off. It did the same thing. I just came through. And it's like super beveled in there like this. And the other one's doing the same thing. It just busted through.
Does it go through that hole? Like you're gonna be able to see the cotter pin?
Since you change this out, it pulls it out a certain amount of space, numbers that I don't remember off the top of my head. So you have to re-drill a new hole for a cotter pin for the castle nut. And we now try drilling there with a bit we bought from the auto parts store, and that was junk. It broke right away, broke inside it, so that's going to live there for a while until we have a breakdown, and then it becomes a problem. And then we're drilling a new hole, broke another bit we found literally on the ground, and now we're just trying another one and just keep trying to drill through, because that's what's kind of holding us back from wrapping up the brakes.
I got it. Threading the nut back on. Where did my hammer go? There it is. Good enough. Damn. That is a man right there.
I know how to sling my hammer.
All right, it's getting late, but we're gonna keep on plugging away at this thing. Ricky has a new master cylinder that he's gonna install on the thing right now. Pretty straightforward. It's almost the exact same unit as the old one.
I'm holding it down with this bar right here, and what this bar is supposed to do is make it... Never mind. The joke I was leading to wasn't appropriate for this YouTube program. So I'm like trying to learn this, and I can't neutral, pull that up. First doesn't feel much different.
Yeah, but you can look down there and you can see the mechanism. It doesn't feel much different because it's working good. So look, go back to neutral, okay?
Neutral.
Pull that thing up. Now look, if you look down, you can see what's moving.
Yeah. Then third.
See?
Oh yeah, I see.
So it just works very well.
So this is what's gonna happen, y'all.
Up,
Up,
down,
down. I'll tell you guys later.
just tie.
Oh, so pull this up.
Up,
Up,
down,
down. So first, second, third, fourth. I'm down the track. I'll be surprised if I get to fourth.
up,
Up,
down.
down.
Hey, say something funny.
Bleeding the brakes. At least you'll have some brake. How's the pedal feel?
I'm still going over the floor.
Are you? We might.
We might have to glue the back.
Right. It'll make these easier to bleed. You up?
Up,
Down?
down.
So I'd like to take a moment, guys, to
Down?
point out this very important thing here. To work on the car, you first must become the car, right,
Down.
Ricky?
I'm a coilover. Up.
Up.
Down. We'll get them lighter and we'll fill it.
We'll do all that after.
Anyone want to
Brand news.
scratch the tree?
Don't get no breakthrough.
Well, it's a new day. I'm layering some B-roll. We got a couple of things done last night, a bunch of tedious stuff. Let's list them out. These are the actual headers that came off of Mr. Jean's block. You know, wire wheel and, you know, a $10 can of spray paint, and they're fine. Glad I didn't buy, you know, the fender headers yet because I can't afford that. We got the master cylinder in. We got the front bled, but there's still hella air lines, so we're gonna have to bleed to the rear. Brakes are all together. Those are done, except we still have to drill the cotter pin for this castle nut on the end of that spindle, whatever words that is. And then Will got a little miscellaneous wiring done, so.
So while these guys are hammering away at the brakes, I am focusing on the electrical side of things. We've decided that we're gonna try to go for the original Magneto distributor that was in this car for years and years.
Because we can't run this the way we want to. Everyone wants the mechanical fuel injection, all that stuff. We don't have time, so that's kind of our one little homage thing.
That's the compromise with everyone. We're gonna run the mag in the thing. That's just gonna be a ground breaker switch on off there. So all I'm gonna focus on right now is startup stuff. So we technically don't need a starter for the thing, but I wanna have one. So we're gonna throw a starter in the thing and either get a button or a switch or something going on for that, and then all we have to do is flip the mag on and hit the start button and away we go. While working on wiring, I'm also going to be trying to get some of these gauges working, or at least hooked up. We're going to try to go for the old oil pressure gauge, the old temperature gauge, try to keep all of this stuff. That's oil temp. I don't think that I have a bung in my engine for an oil temperature gauge, and our voltage gauge will probably not get hooked up. So this was the old way of starting it. It was just magneto on and then start, and then when the thing starts, shut that down. We might just go back to doing that because catch that. Okay. So we want to use these original switches if we can, so I'm gonna try to remove these with the wrong tool. That ain't gonna happen. Let's go get the right tool. These old ball and toggle switches are just way too cool, so we're gonna try to reuse those. So this looks like it was probably the old.
Wait, Will, do you hear that?
Gasser.
Gassing on a gasser. Alright, so those two wires are the only things that went outside. We're gonna tear those out. We don't need them anymore. So those are gone. We'll start over on those guys. This is old taillight wiring or something. So Ricky and I are brainstorming a little bit here. We found a battery tray in the trunk, and I think we're gonna try to reuse that and all of its wiring, or some of its wiring. So we're figuring out how we're gonna have a kill switch on the back bumper, because back in the 60s they didn't have to have that with a relocated battery. We do now. So I think what we're gonna do is we'll run a ground up from the front up to this switch, run that ground wire back to the switch that's in the trunk or hanging out of the back of the trunk, and then back up to the magneto. That way, if you hit that switch, this switch doesn't matter. If that switch is on, you hit this switch, it completes the circuit. I think that'll work, yeah?
Yeah.
And then we'll run power up to the starter, grab power off of that. We can go to a fuse block, we can go to a junction box, whatever we want, to grab power for other things, but that'll just go right to our start switch, and I think that's gonna be all she wrote.
Pastafarian. Safety first.
Pastafarian.
When you're working on cars, you always have to wear a hard hat. Dude, you know what you should do with this?
Yeah. the shit out of me.
All right, we're gonna splice in the old switches. I like these things a lot. They're a crimp connector and they have a built-in heat shrink sleeve on them. So we're gonna use those things.
It's gonna buff out. Probably not. It's coming. Give me the sander. Are you filming me? I'll wash your window for $1. Too late already.
And this is why we can never get anything done.
Boys will be boys.
Yeah, boys will be boys with the
Boy
big old
stuff for my
toys.
boys.
Dude, these fit your head, Joe?
No, those are hella tight.
They are tight. I lost my original pair of Future Techs.
Did you? Did I lose every pair of... I got those Vice Grip Garage ones?
Yeah.
I don't really mind.
Held my hand up.
William.
Put my hand on the
What?
glasses.
Oh.
Got up and they were gone.
Thanks. Literally the last second.
Crimp the switch on the outside of the hole so it wouldn't have gone, the whole switch itself wouldn't feed through the hole, so he has to like go under and then push through.
Here we go. Do it again for the start switch. Alright, we have decided we're going with a fuse box. So I'm going to put it up under the passenger side of the dash here. Nice and tucked away where we don't have to look at it. And self-tapper it in. Alright, well I've been hard at work wiring this turd. And we are to a point where I'm going to call it pretty much done for now on wiring. I have to hook up the fuel pump wires still first, but show you what we got going on in there. There's our fuse box. Obviously this all needs to be tidied up still, but we've got power and ground going to it, and this white wire here is going to be our ground for our magneto, and a couple of hot wires coming out. So pretty simple, pretty simple.
Alright, we'll grab something. Who's like, wait, don't look at it. We gotta go to the camera, so we turn on the camera.
You know when you hang on to something for a long time, you're like, I'm gonna need that someday. Well, this is an old switch panel and it has an old radio in it that I pulled out of a truck from the 40s years ago. And we need a way to turn our fuel pump on for this thing. And I thought about it and I can't believe I remembered it, but I remembered it. So this has the exact same switches
That's got goosebumps.
that your 55 has. And
That's, yep. I was
Literally
like,
the
dude, is there
exact
somewhere I
same
can
ones.
order those?
exact same ones.
Dude.
Because that truck was put together in about the same era. Pretty cool.
Freaking sick, dude.
Pretty cool.
Honestly.
Yep. So the 55 project has brought me over to my 69 Chevelle that we yanked the motor out of a little while back. And when you yank the motor out of something and you need parts, you tend to go to what doesn't have the engine anymore. So I've decided we want to use the fuel pump out of this car temporarily in the 55. So I'm gonna crawl in here. It's hiding way back there in the trunk, and get that thing yanked out so we can start getting it mocked up in the 55 for operation. Cool. Thank you, sir. Yep. Bingo. That's a Holly red fuel pump. It just is wrapped in a Holly blue thing. So I'm gonna be mocking up the fuel system here. I don't have any gas for my welder, so I can't really fabricate anything as of right now. So we have the moon tank zip tied to the front bumper of the car right now, and I'm trying to figure out my fuel pump placement and where we want that. I think that it's gonna be something like right here, and then we can come out and 90 right into our other fuel pump there, or our fuel filter, I mean. So I think that's probably gonna be our best bet. So I'm gonna try to fiddle faddle with this and see if I can get it to hang with some zip ties, because I don't have any welding capabilities at the moment. Now is the painstaking part of making all the fuel lines, and thankfully our fuel system is all of this long from start to finish, so it should be pretty simple. But we're gonna start cutting up some lines, putting some ends on things, and figuring out our plumbing. Still don't have brackets. That's hopefully gonna happen tomorrow. So we've got a zip tied on moon tank up front and a completely suspended fuel pump, but we'll make it happen. We'll get everything mocked up, and then brackets can come hopefully tomorrow. So here we go. So here's our program that's going on here. We've got -8, is whatever that pipe thread is, 1 inch reducing to a -8, which is how it was with the injection. We're going 2 -890s to a reducer, going down to -6, and I think we're just gonna run line through the grill and up, and I think we'll go to a 45 at that fuel filter and then come over. This is gonna be the quickest and easiest fuel system ever. Okay, so I think what we'll do here is we'll take this 90 and we'll go right on to the end of our filter here and shoot it down. Pump is gonna hang somewhere right in here, so this line's gonna come up, and I want to cut it right about there. Stop spinning. All right, there we go. Back to the vise. These jaws are like the best thing that I've ever bought. I say that a lot, but these are wonderful. They help me not scratch my aluminum fittings, and they hold everything firm for me without any hassle. If I can get it clamped in there, I'll keep some pressure on the back of this line. Away we go. All right, we'll get back with you after this is done. There's a fuel line. It should work perfectly. All right, up from the moon tank into the filter, fuel pump, and up into the other filter, the regulator, and to the carb. Fuel system is done. We just need to mount everything. But I think that's gonna work out just fine. That is the shortest fuel system we've ever done. All right, so now we're gonna move on to mounting the fuel pump, and I whipped up a little bracket idea. I ran it through CAD, got that all figured out, all the dimensions and angles and funny things like that. Kidding, it looks like the state of Nevada. Actually, here, I'll show you. See the resemblance there? Yeah, so that's gonna sit right there on the core support, and the fuel pump's gonna bolt to it, and it's wide enough where it kind of shields the fuel pump from the fan swinging around. If that fan is to, go haywire or something, it's not gonna nail the fuel pump, and those things aren't cheap. So anyways, I'm gonna go cut this out of a nice piece of stainless that I have, and we're just gonna bolt that right onto the side of the core support, I think, and that should be pretty quick and easy. Fuel pump's done. On to the next project. I think it looks okay. I don't know. I mean, what do you think? Next up, mounting the gas tank. First time setting the tank on in its final resting place. Oh, dude.
It's there?
Dude.
All right, I'm gonna come see it.
That looks so angry.
It's like the perfect amount of ratty.
Yeah.
This driveline was laying around, but we're thinking it might either work or be close enough, because the driveline that we got from Mr. Gene, I think went to something else. It was just laying next to the car, so we assumed it was it. This was pretty rusty from laying around, so we just rose sanded this a bit, lubed it all up. So we're gonna see if it wants to slide in, and then if we can make it work, it's just a couple of U-joints, and then we have a driveline, which is big problem solved, because that's one of our biggest holdbacks right now. It's figuring that out. And we might not have time for a driveline shop, so we're really hoping this works.
Is it not the right spline, or is it just dirty? I don't know if that's the right spline here. That must be. It is not, I don't believe, or it's just rusty. Dang, that's gonna be really close. If just lubing these was not enough. It's splining in about a 1/4 inch. So let me get a wire brush, clean this out a little bit. We'll make it go in. Yeah, because there's a bunch of junk in there.
Row cleaned out inside here a lot, and then he did a bunch of in and out action. Most action run up ranch gotten a while. And so it's in there. That'll work. Length is good, and it fits in there. So I'm thinking we just need U-joint here to make sure this is the right size, and because we don't have a cap for this side, so we get that, and then grease up this one. It's pretty tight. This U-joint's pretty tight. It doesn't feel great.
Is this the right size U-joint? Oh wow, it is, huh?
It is. It's got the inner lock.
Wow.
Because it doesn't have external retainers.
Right. Well,
if we could find another one, it'd be good to put around in.
Yeah.
I wouldn't launch it, but
there's drive lines up at my mom's.
well, let me pull this.
I just saw a cap somewhere.
Well, it's got to be
No,
this
I know.
style.
And it needs the needles in it.
Because this thing's in pretty good shape. This is just a standard cap holder.
Do they sell just caps or no?
No, but you could buy a U-joint.
Okay,
I will slam a U-joint in that thing and no problem.
Yeah.
We'll just measure the cross and then measure the caps and just buy a U-joint that fits with internal snap rings.
Let's deliberate. We're going on a treasure hunt. We got
We've got a golden ticket.
we got drive shafts out here that are about to possibly miss a little cap.
So for sure. Here's a drive shaft. Nope, that ain't gonna work. Is that capless there?
Yes.
Of course.
If we have to, we'll never find a yoke for that that fits correctly.
Yeah, there's drive lines up in my mom's.
Wasn't a complete useless trip. We got this little collector thingy that's gonna help us at some point. But we got, this is the drive line that we got from Mr. Gene. But it's way too long, I think.
But let's see. It looks like the same one, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I need some Freol and some pliers. That ain't good.
Oh, that mother.
Yeah.
She owned it.
Where's the other one?
Before we do this, hold on.
Yeah, let's see. Yep.
Same outside. Same down.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a different. That's the seal for it.
Yeah.
You still gonna try?
Don't do this at home. Everyone go buy new U-joints.
We're not asking much of it, just to.
I just want it in there. I don't want to push it out of the barn anymore. Oh wow.
Oh, this bearings are done in this thing.
No, I just need some lube.
Oh. Okay, so that's not gonna work.
Well, we can still use it to measure the cross completely. So if we do have to order a U-joint, we know what
Yeah.
cross we need. That'll clean it up.
Got a little shot. Oh, she'll launch. Is that loose on that?
A little.
Oh.
Not the right one. We can fix that. Rebuilding. Oh yeah. Took that valve lash right out of it. This one's not right.
Yeah.
It's close though. This one does.
Does fit.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing how good it fits, honestly. Its diameter is just a little big. That drive line's the perfect length though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, it's not. It's too short.
Are you sure?
Yep. Well, the only thing is you want, when you launch, it's going to pull it out. And then when you brake really hard, the tires are going to come forward, so it's going to slide in. So you don't want this to hit this.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't want it too far out because you'll break this tail housing right off.
About 2 3/8, a little bit more. And overall, we've got 3 3/4.
About an inch and a half, 2 inches of engagement.
It's okay. Yeah.
It's not terrible because it's
So it's
right there.
2 3/8 to 3 3/4. That's 1 3/8, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do we feel about that?
That's okay, I think. A little light, but
Because there's full.
when you take off, it's gonna jam it into the trans. I think that's fine. I think 1.5 inch engagement's about normal. Yeah. That's we're fine with that. Let's roll it.
But we need to make sure that this line isn't collapsed on itself.
Yeah.
And just in case.
We should probably, if we can find a new hose, get a new hose.
That would be ideal.
Yeah.
It's only been sitting for almost 60 years.
Yeah, I'm sure it's swollen to hell in there.
Yeah. Ooh, stay in there, needle bearings.
We have a couple of drive lines on the shelf.
A couple of old El Camino ones.
So we're gonna test these caps out and see.
And two very different sizes, so we could test those out and see if they might fit.
It's too small.
Well, Ro did some digging
Drop one.
out in the field and he found these very pretty ones, but the inside looks tremendous. I'm very proud of you. Thank you so much.
See, hey, Rob dropped your truck.
It's actually my truck now, so that sucks, but.
Okay. This is, I don't even think we should like romp on it in any way, shape, or form, but I found some straps, or the bolts, on some, and then this side was like ground down a little bit. The rest of them I got maybe halfway through the nuts. This one too, but this one was not much at all. I had brand new nuts, but the brand new nut just wasn't threaded right. So I used the original, and that one tightened, but it's not very much so. That'll hold, but I don't trust it. But I'm gonna cross it off my list. It's a little dark, but you'll still be able to see I have a lovely little starter here. And ain't she pretty? She works great, but everything around it isn't. This came from the lovely Fool's Gold, El Camino. It's the El Camino. If you don't remember it, this is the big moment.
Wait, pizza break. Oh, tire fell off.
Anyways, Will took the starter out because it was cranking slowly. Put a fresh starter in there just to find out that it was the motor that was making it crank slowly, because a brand new starter did the same thing. So we know this is good. So I'm just gonna clean it up, and we're gonna use this guy in there to save a couple bucks for now.
All right, we got a new brake hose here from the parts store, and it should be the exact one that we need. I haven't worked on these. Where does this hook up? Over here. That's where that goes. Johnny has ran to town to grab some stuff that we need. So I'm left to my own devices working on this thing. Where's my wrench? There it is. All right. Spin this on in. Simple enough. And we should have brakes after these things get all bled. All right, so the next project that I'm assigning myself is to get this bell housing and this, whatever, backing plate, I don't know what it's called, bolted together. It uses a kajillion bolts. All right, there we go. All right, there we go. All right, that crusty old starter that Johnny remanufactured, it's going in. I wish they'd make those lighter. So I'm gonna go ahead and use Mr. Gene's old cable that he already has in here that ran to the trunk. I cleaned up his terminal, which, looking at it, looks like it is a piece of 1/2-inch plumbing pipe that was crushed and has a hole drilled through it. Works great. I cleaned it up and we're gonna hook it up, and I have no doubts that it's gonna do the job. Perfect. That is gonna fit just like it did back in the 60s. Love it. All right, we'll get an exciter wire thrown down there, get a terminal on it. And I am also gonna grab power off of the main cable going to the starter to run up to our fuse block. Starter is wired in. All right, next up, it is time to start playing with distributors. So this old magneto from, check this out, Joe Hunt Magnetos in Los Angeles, California. Check that out. Super cool. This thing has a bronze gear on it, and that's not going to work for the camshaft that we have in that engine. So we're going to have to go to a melanized one off of an old distributor. So we're going to pop some roll pins out, switch some gears around, and we'll be ready to drop this distributor in. So here's how that goes. So pretty simple stuff here. There's a roll pin that gets driven down through the gear of the distributor into the shaft of the distributor. I have this one out already. And all you got to do is find something that fits perfectly in that hole, and then just give it a couple of taps, and that roll pin ought to come right on out. I used this tap that I decided I didn't need anymore. That was the only thing I could find offhand to punch that thing out, but you can use whatever you got. I heard a 9/64 drill bit works. You could use a nail that's the right diameter that you cut down. The important thing is you don't really want a tapered end like the end of this tap has on it. That tapered end can get driven down into the roll pin and kind of widen it out, cause a taper in there, which will cause it to not want to come out. So it's important to have a relatively square end on that. So this one's already out. We're going to get the one out of the magneto, and then we'll pop this gear off. Another notable mention is, do you see this dimple here? That dimple directly lines up with our rotor there, so that's a good index to put this thing on the right way next time, because this can go on 180 degrees out, and that could mess you up. All right, we've got the cap off of our magneto distributor now, because I wanted to know where this rotor was pointing. That rotor is going to be in line with the oil pump drive there. But I didn't know if it was going this way or it was going this way. So I want to make sure on that indexing mark that I showed you on the melanized gear over there, that index mark is pointing in the same direction as our rotor. So cap is off, we know where the rotor's going, let's put the new gear on. Another important thing to mention here is, here's our bronze gear, here's our melanized gear. We want to make sure that those things are the same height. So we can spec that with a set of calipers, or we could just feel it, and they are right there. So I think this is going to work out just fine for us. Perfect. Let's throw it in the car. All right, so the next thing I'm going to work on is getting our oil pressure gauge plumbed. So we've got this little plastic line, which I never really like using these plastic ones. I like the copper ones, but I don't like dealing with the copper ones. So we're going to do the plastic one. Tasty. All right, Johnny's gonna feed the line through the other side. You want to make sure to not kink these things, because, you know, then oil doesn't go through them and they're prone to breaking. Then you have oil on your feet when you're driving. And I reach with this hand. Line is in and we're on. Just need to be tightened down. All right, cool. So we have our home built oil pump priming tool. Drop down the hole, and Johnny is sitting in the driver's seat, and he might have the opportunity right now to see something on his car move for the first time in 55 years, if this old oil pressure gauge still works. So, you ready? Mm-hmm.
It works! It works!
I've got a leak, but it works.
Will's grabbing the magneto now. We are about to drop that in, and once we drop that in and get it wired in, and then we send those plug wires to the appropriate plugs with a little bit of bashing on the header, it's going to be ready to fire. We're actually very excited about this. We realized that we've done a lot on camera. The little things, we got to the point where we felt like we didn't need to film every single thing. A bunch of little wiring things, grounds getting done properly, all these like little tiny minute things. Just felt like we were filming too much, so we didn't film them. But a lot of little things have happened between then and now. But we're super close to firing, and I'm very anxious and excited. So, what can I say? Guess I'm a race car owner now. I don't know. Moon tank.
55 years.
It's a little bit of a different type of gas than you're used to. They don't make it like they used to. It's kind of not that great these days.
Stuff had lead in it last time it was full.
Will's got the fuses right now. He's under the dash, inserting them. I want to take a second to say that I don't even have the words right now. She's gonna run for the first time after 55 years, and yeah, I don't know. I don't have the words. I'm excited, anxious, grateful, extremely grateful to have a piece of history like this. It's going to be a very recognizable car, and just all the help that's gotten me from the first time seeing it in Mr. Jean's driveway to right now. Yeah, and I'll never forget everyone that's helped me along the way and everything that I've had to do to get to now, and all the road that, it still lays ahead of us just to drive it and race it and all that. But I'm very aware of everything.
All right.
So,
Okay, fuel pump switch on. Okay, turn that off. All right, turn the magneto switch on. Fuel pump on. Go ahead and hit the start switch just for a second. See if it cranks.
nothing.
Nothing.
Oh,
What was that?
I heard something pop in here, and then it cranked.
Okay, so if you turn it back on, will it crank again?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Hold on.
Okay, go.
What?
Go. Hold on.
I'll have to start it on.
That ain't good. You gotta make sure to turn that off. Hit the fuel pump. Alright.
Ready?
Yeah, make sure you shut the starter off
Yep.
this time.
Hold on.
Go. Keep the fuel pump off.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
Marissa asked me the other day, she was like, do you think I'm actually gonna need those earmuffs? Yes, you are. She was like, what are you gonna wear? I was like, I don't want to hear anything when I'm older. What the freaking heck, bro?
This thing sounds sick with open header. Okay, ready?
Yep.
The magneto switch does kill it.
We got a race car on our
We
hands, boy.
got a race car on our hand, boy.
That's terrifying. Magneto works good, bro.
Yeah, that piece of equipment there has sat for 55 years. We did nothing to it.
We sprayed the outside with some brake clean.
Yeah.
Oh, it sees me. I'm gonna pop up.
Here.
No, it's fine.
Do it
It's
again.
fine. I think
Do
it's
it
funny.
again.
I think it's funnier that I got Okay.
Now leave both of those in.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're doing here is
Exhaust.
exhaust.
Blah, blah.
So
Blah, blah, blah. Blah.
Johnny's about to get a car dropped on top of him. What's about to happen? So
Blah, blah. Done. Stop. No, seriously, don't do that one. Not that one. Let's got fucking gear oil and stuff. Stop.
get in there. We're doing something here.
All right, go ahead.
So Johnny's gonna hold this pipe up and I'm gonna mark where I need to bash on the thing. So we wanna make sure that it's straight down the frame rails. It's right about there, straight. And then I can come in here with my Sharpie and mark there. And then over here and mark there. And that's our angle that we need. That's where I'm gonna hit it with a hammer right now for clearance. So we can get it sucked up to the frame a little bit higher. That looks pretty cool.
Like it?
Right there, those.
We have it kind of mocked up. Both sides. This side's bashed in. And it looks pretty sick, dude.
Pretty cement. That's pretty cement right there.
I don't know if you could see it.
That sounds so sick.
It's a freaking race car, dude. What did he touch?
I don't know. The exhaust, it's got oil on it.
Oh, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
This thing sounds ridiculous.
We got ourselves a bag of goodies from an undisclosed location. But we got these thingies. These thingies. So we're gonna roll and stay cool, you know what I'm saying?
All right, it is super late. We have almost every single little thing done. We have a couple of temporary things because we really want to drive this thing. We're about to drive it for the very first time. Johnny is gonna pull it off the lift. We need to jack it up one more time in the front end, but it's coming off this lift under its own power for the first time since 1969, right now.
Right?
Let it run.
That time it let me shift though.
Okay.
Alright, so I think I'm in neutral now.
Just your bushings are shot is what it is.
Yeah. Right?
Yep.
I don't know what you're saying.
satisfied with that.
I think we drove it.
Yeah.
We drove it. It's beer time and then sleep time.
Yeah, what time is it? It is 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah, it's Friday now. I'm shooting a podcast in like 6 hours.
Yeah, I have to be on top of a fire station in 6 hours.
Beer time. Next thing you guys see is actual driving. Before we call it a night, I want to let you know that it did drive off the slicks from 1969.
Those slicks got aired up the day that we picked this thing up for Mr. Gene, and we have not put air in them since. And that was how long ago?
3 months ago.
Yeah.
3 or 4 months ago.
Consider me impressed, okay? Because I can see the inside of the tire from the outside of the tire.
They don't make them like they used to. Those are quality.
All right, we have been working our tails off on this thing. We have a bunch of stuff done, a bunch of stuff not so done, but all of it is pretty much rigged up to the point where I think we can take a test drive.
Yeah, there was quite a few times where I was like, is this good enough? And Will was like, it's good enough for a test drive.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at. We just are itching to drive this thing, and we don't want to waste any more time.
So it's happening. We want to give it a good little shakedown just so we can continue our list if we have to, if anything else shows itself.
But we're not going to know unless we drive it.
Yeah.
All right, enough talking. Let's just drive this thing.
Let's do it.
All right.
Here we go. Throttle, there you go. This thing is geared low.
Very low. And it's got that, I hit a bump and all of a sudden my foot.
You gonna wait to shift to get up there?
I guess so.
Okay. Too late now. I don't need this, do I? Or yeah, I have to use it.
Just in case.
Don't kill it, don't kill it.
I killed it.
Yep, I don't know why.
Oh.
No fuel pump. Sick. All right.
The battery slid over because it's one of those universal top and side posts, and the side post went straight into a bolt, like an old bolt of Mr. Gene's battery tray, and just melted.
Yep. And now we don't have enough battery. Well, we gotta go get a different battery because we don't have enough battery to run the fuel pump. We have an alternator.
Yeah.
All right, well.
We're gonna try for second gear on this one.
Yeah. And Johnny's not gonna kill it because I'm letting Will drive in the driveway.
That's fun. Your turn.
I'm so good at this.
drives like a Jeep.
Yeah, it does.
Like a really crappy Jeep. Are you gonna hit third in this trip at all?
Yeah, probably.
Alright, well you should do it soon.
I'm trying to.
Not going in the ditch.
Yeah.
Right now's a good time.
Too much throttle for this. God damn. That's fourth.
That's fourth.
How do I get in second?
Stop. There you go. This thing is terrifying.
The taste of metal in my mouth is crazy.
I know, why is it doing that?
All the rust on the floorboard.
Oh yeah. It tastes metal bad. Oh, this thing's a handful.
Dude.
Man.
We're holding at 210.
That's good. I'm okay with 210. I don't want any more than that though. This car tastes like pennies.
Yeah, it does. It's so hard to drive.
Ah! Big bump. Bigger bump. Turn around here. Ah! There's a bump there. Hit the clutch. Oh, that was
Terrifying.
something.
I don't know. Those front. I don't know if it's the front wheels or what. Should we
Is it
assess?
pulling?
Should we assess things or should
Yeah, let's assess.
we leave it idling or do we stay in here?
No, let's shut it off.
Oh my god. I'm like, bro, that was the hardest to turn, like to keep straight I've ever felt. Everything's loose in the front end, it feels like, dude. Maybe those tires aren't like liking only having 3 lug nuts.
They're also really wide tires.
Oh my god, bro. I'm gonna need a freaking tetanus shot in my mouth.
Can you take a shot of tetanus? Because I think that's what I need.
I need a shot of something, dude.
That was... I wasn't even driving and that was a lot.
If anyone is ever like feels like they get overstimulated, you do not know what overstimulation is. Gosh dang, dude.
That's the name of this car now, is overstimulated. Like, we just did a 1,000-mile road trip and that was like half a mile.
All right, well, there's nothing initially pouring out, so that's good, I guess.
All right, I want to drive it. Looks good to me. Let's do it. Can I drive it?
Yeah.
Okay.
God damn. That's like adrenaline through the roof. Looks cool here, though.
Does look cool here.
Let me snap a photo of it. I'll always look at that photo and be like, that's when we almost felt like we were gonna die.
That's right before we figured out what was trying to kill us.
Yeah.
Man, this thing is a handful. Let's not back us off the cliff here.
Back, yeah.
We're a little warmer than 210.
Yeah.
I felt like it jumped straight to fourth. There's second.
Whoa. I told you, bro.
Yeah.
demands to be driven, dude.
It ain't doing anything for you, but trying to kill you. Okay. Okay.
There's a drag car. Woo!
Okay. I see. I see. Ah! This thing is a mess. But I can brake with my hands. So that's cool. I'm glad I can do that. Because I really, when I drive this, all I want to do is hit the brakes.
Oh.
This thing is not made for the street at all. I don't even know if this is made for a drag strip.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, does not stop that good. Okay, I say, let's bring this to some straighter roads.
Yeah. We need to get away from the windy roads. Let's go. Let's go down to town.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Wow.
We were gonna start the montage of driving. We are out on straight roads, and
This
Will
thing-
is not drivable. We were saying how hard it was. This is this side straight, right? That's how off it is. That's why this was the hardest car that Will and I've ever had to drive.
Right here.
Dude.
That ain't good. No.
All right, we're gonna do a quick roadside sit.
Roadside alignment.
We're gonna do a really quick, like he said, and then montage.
Well, it's a little snug, so we've created the roadside strap wrench, and we're trying to leverage it with that. I'm going the right way, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Aim on this and aim it out.
Right. We've adjusted this side as much as it's gonna go. It's a lot closer, but we've run out of adjustment room, so we're going to drop this side, jack up this side, and then get that side straight and adjust this side to where we want it. Hopefully we're a lot closer, but every adjustment we're doing makes it easier to drive. He's just gonna pull that way, and time to drive. It's easy for me because I'm not doing it.
Look at my drive shaft. Did I break it? Did I break the drive shaft? There's a hoop. Something broke. Did I lose clutch linkage? I think I lost clutch linkage or something. I got no gears. Something.
I didn't check the front where it touches the trans.
Yeah.
Yeah, hope we didn't pop out of the transmission.
Okay, off of it. In. Okay, we still have it. I got no gears.
The transmission could have just blown.
It could have. I don't have the pedal feel that I did though. I don't know, maybe I do. It feels weird though.
I think that might be it, homie.
It could have blown up. I don't know. The clutch has influence on how the engine's running. I don't know. We might be putting a rock crusher in this thing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might have been bad.
This is one of the hardest fights I think I've ever undertaken.
This is a good one. Everything out of Mr. Jean's driveway is just a fighter.
Apparently sitting for 50 years is, you know, hard on stuff or whatever.
We brought the car out to these nice, flat, smooth backcountry roads because our road at the ranch was a little bumpy and a little curvy for this thing. We found out that was an alignment problem. We just fixed it. We pulled out onto the road and we lost the transmission or something.
We lost something big. Something is really wrong. It could be something really simple, hopefully. I don't know about that.
But it don't go no mo.
It really doesn't. We didn't film much of it earlier, but this thing has been running terribly today. We learned that Magneto wants a fresh, really powerful battery to start it up, and it
likes the RPM on the cranking.
And so we went through like 4 batteries to learn that, and this has been nothing but a struggle. And the best this has run is right now. She wants to go. She wants to smash up these smooth roads. Apparently not enough.
Something behind it doesn't.
Yeah.
I wonder if we broke the rear end.
That's what I was wondering too.
We're gonna investigate. But either way,
this video is long enough. We're fighting this super hard. We're still gonna work on this. The next video, we promise burnouts, and we promise not as much carnage. Maybe like rubber carnage, you know what I'm saying?
yeah. We didn't lose though, we learned.
Yeah, we didn't lose, we drove it. It drove.
It's
55 years, it drove. I
Public
drove
roads.
my car.
Come on.
Ready? Clutch is out.
Rear end's done.
Damn it. We broke the rear end.
William broke my rear end.
I broke the rear end. I blew your back out.
I broke Johnny's rear end. I broke it on a street, on street tires, shifting to second at 20 miles an hour.
Hold on. I want to point out, I would have never in a million years guessed, we blew that rear end before that U-joint.
Yeah.
That U-joint is the definition of the word sketchy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we should not have been driving on that thing.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
The U-joint bolts, dude, had a couple of threads that were
I had
tightened on
like
it.
3 threads. Because I got like one more out of it.
Now that we're here and we didn't explode that, we can, you know,
Talk about it.
talk about it.
That happened.
Um,
We're waiting for the other ones to come in the mail.
we have an event in like 3 weeks.
Crunch time. I'm gonna put a rear end. I'm gonna take a rear end out of something and weld it in, or weld some perches, and if we're gonna figure it out.
We really appreciate everybody for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. We have so many more videos coming your way.
This one's coming back.
Yes, it is.
I don't know how to do this. None of this stuff, guys. Sorry. Deal with it. I don't know how to do this. I don't know what I'm doing. You see this? Yeah. Johnny's gonna say he was the first one done. He's lying. I was. So.